At home, an iconic landmark on Atlanta's west side is about to undergo some much-needed renovations. The Ashby Street Theatre, guys, stood for decades as one of the only places African Americans could see a movie in the city.
Yes, so much history in this place. 11 Alive's Joe Ripley joins us now, and Joe, plans call for the landmark to now become a new community hub.
That's right. The Atlanta Business League is spearheading these renovations, and while it raises money, gets the building up to code, and brings in architects to renovate this property, the organization hopes it brings new life to the west side.
On the west side of Atlanta, the old Ashby Street Theatre is due for repairs.
There are holes in the roof. There's a wall falling down.
Jay Scott with Green Rock Partners is working to secure funding for the building owned by the Atlanta Business League.
When it was built in 1934, it was the first time that people in this community could go in the front door of a movie theater instead of having to climb up the fire escape.
Milton Jones grew up in the neighborhood. He remembers the drugstore across the street and the travel agency next door.
The theater itself, ran movies. It took a while to get to our neighborhood. But when they got here, everybody wanted to go see them.
Bringing this old theater back to life requires a little modern-day technology.
I think we have a lot of different concerns and a lot of different pieces to it. So AI can help us actually manage that complexity and find ways to make it more cost-effective and also meet the needs of the community.
Architects Patrick Chopson and Ed Aiken say they're keeping the economy and community in mind.
I would say those are the major headwinds, just making sure we have the availability of resources, both in labor and materials, moving through the project.
Atlanta Business League President and CEO Leona Barr Davenport says the project could take about $15 million and at least 5 years to complete.
I think of it as a place called home. And this will be our home for entrepreneurs and black business owners.
For Norris Hunt, this home to so much history is worth the effort to revive.
Once it is restored, it's like a jewel that you found, a shiny penny you found in the dust, that we can take it up out of the dust and dust it off and replace it in its rightful place. And it can really begin to spark that kind of interest and that kind of rejuvenation that this neighborhood really longs for.
The renovated Ashby Street Theatre will also house the Black Business Hall of Fame. This project is currently funded in part by 2 grants from the National Park Service.
Such a beautiful organization that has, such long life, and it's just one of those pieces of history that you don't want to see die. And so this is just so cool to even see the renderings of what it could be.
Yeah, you heard from Milton Jones there, who used to be a former president of the Atlanta Business League. He was saying, I remember when this neighborhood was hopping, there wasn't a Zaxby's, there wasn't an Atlanta Wings over there, but there was a drugstore. There are all these community landmarks that people still are familiar with over there. They want to see that place really come back to life.
Yeah, a lot of people want the west side to kind of be what it was. Hopefully it will. All right, Joe, we appreciate it.